A couple of days earlier, the Supreme Court of India had posed a question to the Sikh people whether turban is obligatory for a Sikh, essential for a Sikh, necessary for a Sikh or not. The Supreme Court was dealing with the case of a Sikh cyclist who had been told to remove his turban when he desired to participate in a cycle race. And the Supreme Court Judge Mr. Mishra, the Chief Justice, quoted the example of Bishan Singh Bedi and Navjot Sidhu that they had been playing in various games, especially cricket, and Milkha Singh, who had been participating in athletics, that they had just a handkerchief or a small turban on their head while they were playing. The Supreme Court has posed a very strange question. Turban is not a headgear for a Sikh. Like others who wear hat, cap or other headgears, it's not so in Sikhism. In Sikhism, turban is obligatory. It is one of the 5 articles of faith for a Sikh. The 5 are, though some people confuse it with case, is not a article of faith. A case is otherwise a part of a Sikh's being. So these 5 are keski, which we use for turban, keski, kada, kanga, kirpan, kachara. These are the 5 Ks. The confusion might have been caused by the SGPC's Rahat Maryada, which says case as 5th article of faith. In fact, it is turban, keski. And the old sources of Sikh history are very clear about it, that Guru Gobind Singh gave them 5 Ks, and one of the Ks was keski. The first, rather it was first thing, which is a symbol of a crown for a Sikh. So to say that whether a Sikh can remain without turban or can appear without turban in public, it's a very strange question, especially for the Chief Justice or other Justice of India, the Supreme Court, who had Justice Singh Kher as their own former Chief Justice, who was wearing a turban. Perchance he was my class fellow, and I know that he was never without a turban when he was my class fellow in 1974-70 session of Law, Punjab University, Chandigarh. Then the Supreme Court has a very large number of lawyers practicing in their own court, and all of them have turban. They have never seen any lawyer without turban. The same is High Court judges. There are several High Court judges and several dignitaries. India's Prime Minister was once, India's President was a Sikh, and Army's Chief was a Sikh. So, and in Canada they know that there are Sikh ministers who are wearing turban. There is no question that turban is a part of Sikh's being. To deny a Sikh having turban is like denying his religion, is asking him to be a rebel against its religion. Now, the Supreme Court should understand that the question of turban is very clear, but in my views, one different question arises which was not discussed by the honorable judges. That issue is whether a Sikh is allowed to wear helmet or not. Some I don't call them orthodox, I call them ignorant. Some ignorant Sikhs, over-enthusiastic Sikhs, used one line that of a Rahatnama which cannot be considered authentic, that hoye Sikh sir topi tare, saat janam kushti hoye mare. That a Sikh cannot wear a cap. That's wrong. Sikh can use any safety helmet, but turban is obligatory. You can have a helmet over the turban, Because to say that helmet is a violation of Sikh religion, it's no, it's wrong. So a helmet can be devised which can be can fit on turban, which can cover the turban. The turban can be small one and the helmet can be big one. It's not obligatory to have a turban of 20 meters or 7 meters or 5 meters. Turban means one should cover his hair very decently and properly, which should be presentable dress. So to say that turban is not essential for a Sikh is wrong. Tomorrow people have started questioning the Supreme Court judges. Then tomorrow you will say, are hair necessary for a Sikh? Or is Guru Granth Sahib necessary for Sikhs? Or to use name Singh as a suffix, as a part of Sikh's name, is it necessary? So such questions should not be raised. Supreme Court should understand. I have a message for French government also. French government should understand that during First World War 1914 to 19 and Second World War 39 to 45, France was captured by anti-France forces, by Germany and other forces. Then about 100,000 Sikhs sacrificed their lives, and more than that were wounded in the battle. They sacrificed their lives for freedom of France. And France has banned turban. Banning turban means banning Sikhism. So France has banned Sikh religion, which is an act of ungratefulness. World's greatest ungratefulness is to be cruel to that person, that community, that section, to those people who gave you freedom, who sacrificed their lives for you. It's shameful for France. It is ungratefulness, and also they are violating their own principles of justice, equity, and good science, freedom of religion. So France should also understand this thing, that banning turban means banning Sikhism. So Supreme Court, finally for Supreme Court, there is no question that turban is a part of Sikhs being. It is an article of faith. It is equally important as hair and other things. So such a question should not have been raised. And again I say that helmet is not anti-Sikh or violation of Sikh tenets. Sikh can have helmet over his turban for his safety. There is nothing wrong in it. Thank you.